Okay, so it may not be possible to form a square because of certain restrictions. In this case, the optimal area and perimeter occurs when the length and width are closest in value. So in the case that, let's say you want to make a garden, but you want to make it around like a wall. So you have a wall, you're going to make your garden, and then you're going to fence it. Are you going to fence the wall as well?
No.
Because otherwise it's a waste of money. Make sense? Okay, so once we have that kind of scenario, right, where I'm gonna make a garden, right, I'm only fencing 3 sides. I'm not fencing the 4th. So once I do that, this is gonna change my shape. It is not going to be a square anymore in order to obtain the maximum area or the minimum perimeter. It won't be a square anymore. Right? So this is where you can't use the 2 formulas that you've used previously in the way that you solved previously, because now we have a restriction. Okay? So we're going to have to, in these cases, then we're going to have to make a table of value like this, and then we're going to have to assign values for the length, so we can solve for the width, so we can solve for the perimeter. Okay? So let's look at this example. A rectangular garden is to be fenced using the wall of a house as one side of the garden. The garden should have an area of 40 meters squared. Determine the minimum perimeter of the garden if a dimension must be whole numbers. I'm going to forget about the decimals because that's another whole mess. Okay? So we're going to just fixate on whole numbers for now. Okay? Which is easier. Now, think with me. How many sides do I have to fence? 3 sides. I have 2 length and 1 width, or 1 length and 2. Doesn't matter, right? At the end, it's going to be the same thing, right? So, what do you want to do? Let's do 1 length. So this is the length, and then let's solve for the width. Okay? So, what would be the perimeter of this?
Length plus width plus width.
So the perimeter is 2 width
and width
plus
length.
length. What would be the area of this? Length and width. It doesn't change. The area is not going to change if you have 1 or 2, one side missing. Okay, because it's still the same area, which is awesome. Okay, now I'm going to assign values for L, just because I decided to assign values for L, right? And then I know the area, so I'm looking for W. Does it make sense to you guys? So, what's my area?
Area is 40.
40. I'm going to assign value for L, so it's going to be divided by L, and then that's going to equal to the W. So basically, I just brought that L over and becomes division. What values of L do you think I'm going to assign if I want whole numbers?
2, 4.
2. They have to be whole number, and they have to be divisible by, 4 is divisible by
5.
Even number?
Okay?
5.
It doesn't have to be even numbers, right? It could be any number, as long as the number, if I divide it by 40, if I divide 40 by it, then it's going to give me a whole number, okay? So there are multiples of, there are factors of 40, sorry.
2, 8, 4,
5.
So let's start with 1. 1, 2,
4.
4,
5.
5,
8.
8,
10,
10,
20 and 40.
20.
Whoa.
Okay, let's just stop right there. Good. So if my length is 1, what would be my width?
40.
40. Right? How did I find that? Is I did 40 divided by 1, which is 40. Right? Okay. Now, let's find the perimeter. Perimeter is equal to 2 times W plus length.
Right.
What's my W?
W
40.
40.
So 2 times 40 is
80.
plus
Plus 1.
1, so that's gonna give me
81.
81. So my answers here are meter, meter, meter. So I don't have to keep writing meter. So if I assign it in the top, I don't have to keep repeating. Okay? Now, how about if my length is 2? So 40 divided by 2 gives me,
20.
so my width is 20.
So,
Finding the perimeter,
40, 41.
42.
So
2 times 20 is
40.
40 plus 2
Oh.
is 40. So what do you see? What's happening to the perimeter?
You wrote up my whole line.
going down.
It's being reduced. It's decreased. Okay. If the width is 4, if the length is 4, what would the width be?
10.
10. We all know how I'm getting these answers?
Yes.
Okay. So if the width,
Divide
Sorry.
40 by the
24.
length.
so the perimeter is going to be 2 times 10 plus 4, which is 20. Again, can you guys remind me what am I looking for?
Minimum perimeter.
The minimum perimeter. Okay, let's keep going.
So
40 divided by 5.
Equals,
8. Okay. 2 times 8 plus 5.
21.
I'm still getting lower and lower, right? Okay. 40 divided by 8. Okay. 2 times 5 is
10.
10.
plus 8.
18.
Still getting lower. 40 divided by 10.
4.
4 times 2.
8.
8 plus 10.
18.
18. Let's try one more. 40 divided by 20. 2. 2 times 2
4.
plus 20.
24.
Okay. So what do we notice here?
What about up?
It's going back up. So I got to a minimum perimeter here, right? But then now it's starting to go back up. So that tells me that if I keep going, if I do 40 and 1, that's gonna even be bigger.
Yeah.
Okay? So my minimum perimeter is going to happen somewhere here, where I have 8 by 5 or 10 by 4. Okay? Now, technically, I can go micro and I can go to decimals between this to find my really minimum perimeter, but we're not gonna do that here. Okay? We're gonna stick with whole numbers. Okay? So, the dimension that produce minimum perimeter with an area of 40 meters squared are 8 by 5. Or 10 by 4.
Thanks for your help. I make smoothies.
Oh, thank you. And the minimum perimeter